All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. Think of me as your senior consultant for today. And listen, we are treating our AI tools not just as these magical wands that do our work for us, but as powerful yet sometimes pretty risky systems that absolutely need our expert oversight. Today is all about moving away from being passive users who just click generate and cross their fingers. Instead, we're stepping up as critical editors. We're going to look at some very real day-to-day scenarios to really calibrate your judgment skills and help you spot the exact moment when these tools start to go off the rails.
Okay, let's dive into this. We have all been there. You find the literal perfect candidate. You have an AI draft what looks like a super polished message. You send it off and absolute silence. Nothing. So why does this keep happening? Well, the trap we fall into is relying on generic AI drafts that sound, quite frankly, incredibly robotic. The hard truth is, AI just lacks the highly specific human context required to sound, well, human. Without your guidance, it hallucinates these generic platitudes or worse, makes up details that just aren't right. And let me tell you, to top-tier talent, these messages absolutely scream automated template and they go straight to the trash. So let's talk about the stakes here by outlining what we call anti-patterns. First off, treating all scenarios exactly the same. Using the identical tone for a passive candidate as you would for an active applicant, huge mistake. Second, insufficient review. I literally once saw an AI draft an email that confidently cited a totally fabricated statistic about a candidate's previous employer, and it even hallucinated a coding language that absolutely does not exist. No way, right? This is exactly why you have to evaluate the risk of the task versus the AI's actual capability before you ever hit send. And third, accepting an 80% decent first draft without iterating, because at the end of the day, that message has your name on it, not the AI. So here's our playbook for today. First, the AI recruiting trap and framework. Second, mastering passive candidate outreach. Third, the art of rejection. Fourth, follow-ups and counteroffers. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with your AI recruiting playbook. Starting us off with Section 1, the AI recruiting trap and framework. Now, this foundational methodology right here is what separates struggling users from thriving ones in an AI-driven world. Just take a look at this iteration cycle. Notice how it starts with your human brain, research, and insight. You take that insight to build a highly specific prompt, and then you get your draft. But steps 4 and 5, that is where the actual magic happens. You absolutely must review, edit, and iterate. The crucial takeaway here is that a first draft from AI is literally never ready for prime time. One round of your human editing is usually what takes a draft from, say, 80% decent to 95% amazing. And our secret sauce for that editing process is this 5-point verification checklist. This is how you actively mitigate AI risk and evaluate task capability. So, I want you to use the think aloud method with me today as we look at our upcoming scenarios. We're going to check every single piece of AI output against these 5 pillars. 1, is it accurate or did the AI just hallucinate a fake project? 2, is the voice authentic? 3, is the tone respectful? 4, is it personalized to actually align with our company? And 5, is it clear enough to actually convert the candidate? Moving into Section 2, mastering passive candidate outreach. Let's look at our first real-world case study. Meet Alex Chen. Alex is a senior backend engineer at DataWorks. He's been there for over 3 years, which means he is stable and absolutely not looking for a new job. But your research shows he has over 30 open source commits to a really widely used distributed tracing library. Now, here is where the task risk is incredibly high. If you send an automated clunky message to a senior engineer like Alex, you're going to get screenshotted, put on blast on social media, and suddenly you've really damaged your company's employer brand. So our goal here isn't a hard pitch. It's just to start an interesting conversation with a builder. So if we feed the AI a highly detailed prompt with all that verified research, this is what good actually looks like. Read this with me. Hey Alex, came across your work on the tracing library. The horizontal scaling approach you built is exactly what we're tackling now. Notice how hyper-specific and low pressure that is? Because we strictly verified his open source commit in our prompt, we completely avoided the AI making up a fake GitHub project or hallucinating a random skill. We maintained complete control over the narrative the entire time. Now, just compare these two approaches. Generic praise, like, I saw your profile and think you'd be a great fit, is basically the professional equivalent of saying, I like music on a first date. It means absolutely nothing. Alex gets messages like that 50 times a month. But that specific connection on the right, the horizontal scaling approach you built is exactly what we're tackling. That signals mutual respect. It's totally peer-to-peer. It shows you actually understand the technical depth of what he does, completely avoiding that dreaded robotic AI trap. Let's move on to Section 3, the art of rejection. Okay, let's set the stage for our second case study. Maria Santos interviewed for a product manager role. She was incredibly professional, did great research, highly articulate, the whole shebang. But here's the dilemma. During the strategy interview, her answers on business trade-offs were just a bit surface level. So she's a very competent PM, but for this specific high-stakes role, you need someone with deeper, proven experience navigating really complex strategic decisions. For this, we specifically prompt the AI to be honest but kind, and crucially, we instruct it not to use overly flowery language, because left to its own devices, AI often tries to soften bad news with a bunch of insincere fluff. So think aloud with me on this output. Does it pass our tone check? Well, yes. It says, we're looking for someone with more proven experience navigating complex strategic decisions. This wasn't a fit for this particular role, but we'd absolutely stay in touch. See, it's direct, it's honest about the exact reason, and it gives her real feedback without offering any false hope. And this is absolutely crucial, because vague rejections, like "we decided to go in another direction," are just incredibly frustrating. They leave candidates feeling totally dismissed and confused. But notice how the honest reason on the right gives actionable feedback. By treating candidates like the professionals they are and explaining the actual why, you are actively building a bridge for future roles and preserving your company's reputation. All right, on to Section 4, follow-ups and counteroffers. Here's our final scenario. Jordan Park is a senior data engineer at Google Cloud. You sent Jordan a fantastic, meticulously researched message 4 weeks ago, and you got crickets. Absolutely no response. Now, we have to acknowledge reality here. Jordan probably gets dozens of messages a week. Framing this as a consultant assessing task risk, an unedited, automated follow-up draft could very easily cross the line into aggressive spam here. Our follow-up has to warrant taking up their extremely valuable time without coming off as pushy. So what do? We instruct our AI to draft a short, low-pressure follow-up that explicitly includes a brand new piece of context. And the result is honestly perfect. Jordan, one more thought. We just closed Series B, which means we're finally able to invest in data infrastructure. Worth a quick 20 minutes to chat? Notice how the AI seamlessly wove in that Series B detail? This works brilliantly because it acknowledges the noise of their inbox, it respects their time, and most importantly, it provides brand new, highly relevant company information. Let me just give you some very direct, actionable advice right now. If literally nothing has changed since your first message, do not follow up. Just don't do it. Look at this comparison. Just checking in on my previous message basically says to the candidate, I know you ignored me, so I'm bothering you again. But leading with new, relevant context, like closing a Series B or launching a massive new product, that completely resets the conversation and gives them a logical, compelling reason to actually hit reply. And finally, Section 5, your AI recruiting playbook. Before we wrap up, I really want to highlight the tangible business impact of calibrating your AI skills. Look at this number, 30%. In one case study, a company used AI to analyze and really carefully adjust the language in their job descriptions to remove bias. And since I'm coaching you on AI risks today, let me assure you, this is a human-verified, real-world statistic, not an AI hallucination. That simple, strictly reviewed language adjustment increased their applicant diversity by a massive 30%. That is the incredible return on investment you get when you combine AI's drafting power with careful, deliberate human oversight. So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. How will you adapt this framework to your reality today? Remember, AI is a phenomenal drafting tool, a real game changer, but its risk profile means it is, at the end of the day, just a tool. It's your specific research, your empathy, and your critical human judgment that actually protect your brand and close the candidate. The next time you generate a draft, don't just blindly send it. Review it, elevate it, and make it yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay sharp out there, and I will see you next time.